I'm curious your thoughts on the shutdown, now 35 days old, impacting decisions in this election with so many federal workers who have been furloughed now for over a month. Does that help Abigail Spanberger in the end?
Absolutely. Republicans rightfully are being blamed for the shutdown. When I ran for governor in 2013, Republicans also had a shutdown there. I went up 10 points in the polls. They rightfully are blaming the Republicans. We have 500,000 federal workers, the most of any state in America. Maryland is right behind us. And we have a president, Donald Trump, who's now saying, well, I'm not sure we're going to pay those people back for the time that they've worked. So this is a perfect storm for Donald Trump this year in these elections. We're going to win big in Virginia. We're going to sweep the statewide. I think we may get to 60 House of Delegate seats. But ever since Donald Trump has come into office, Joe, our economy has been decimated. Our third quarter GDP went from 6 to 1.7. 7 straight months, unemployment has gone up. We have had the DOGE cuts, the federal contract cuts, now a shutdown. We've seen 3 rural health centers closed. Trump has been a disaster for Virginia. This is a lot like 2017 when Trump won in 16. We won the governorship by 9.5 points. It's turbocharged this year because it comes down to affordability. People are paying more for groceries. They're paying more for energy. And now, because of the big ugly bill, they're paying more for health care. So it's going to be a big night, not only here, also in New Jersey, also in California, also in New York.
I'd actually love to get your take on some of the other states as someone who helped to run the party or did run the party at one point. But when it comes to Virginia, there have been questions about candidate quality on the Republican side. Governor Donald Trump held a tele-rally for Winsome Earle-Sears last night and never actually mentioned her name. What do you make of Republican selection in this case? Would you have a harder race against someone else?
Yeah, I mean, it's a ticket hard to make up, a very erratic ticket. The lieutenant governor, who's now running for governor, Earl Winsome Sears, is very erratic, has not talked at all about the economy. You know, one other president ran said it's the economy stupid. Well, it is again this time. And she has not talked about the economy. You have a lieutenant governor, Republican candidate for lieutenant governor, who has had a whole slew of issues, and they've had no money. So it's really a perfect storm. And our candidate, we got great candidates. Abigail, I've known Abigail for years. She's been a great member of Congress. She will focus on job creation, health care, education funding. And, you know, Joe, at the end of the day, that's what voters want. And that's what they really want with their state elected officials. Remember, we build your roads, we run your health care, we run your education. And they just want all this bickering that goes on to stop. They want results. And that's what you're going to get with Abigail and Hashmi. You're going to get it with our Attorney General, Jay Jones. And that's what people want. You're going to get. It's going to be a historic win tonight. And I should say the first woman governor in the history of the Commonwealth of Virginia we're actually going to be able to elect tonight. You mentioned Jay Jones. I have to ask you about his campaign, as we were just discussing with Greg Giroux. Are you concerned about this text message scandal? We hear about it a lot in an age when political violence is a real concern. Do you wish that he came out and apologized and was more deliberate in that effort? Yeah, well, Joe, he did come out right away and apologize. Abhorrent comments. I mean, nobody should talk about political violence. You know, I hated it. You know, I didn't like it when Donald Trump came out and said I could shoot someone on Fifth Ave and people will still vote for me. There is no place for that today. But I have personally known Jay for a long time. I knew his father, who recently passed, was a well-known judge down in Hampton Roads. His mother was a judge. His grandfather was a great civil rights attorney. So I know Jay's background. He will be a great attorney general. And here's the key point. Very important, Joe. So you have Jason Miyares, the Republican for Attorney General, who is in lockstep with Donald Trump. He should have sued Donald Trump, the administration, on the DOGE cuts. He should have sued on all these federal contracts that we lost here in Virginia. So you now have not one Republican in Virginia in the last 10 months who's come out to defend Virginians, to support Virginians. But no, all they want to do is support Donald Trump, and our economy is anemic. And Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger tomorrow, she's going to have to deal with a crisis in our health care and jobs, all because of Donald Trump and the Republicans in Virginia who have been too scared to stand up for the people who they should have been representing.
Donald Trump has invoked energy as a major issue in the campaign, and of course it speaks to costs of prices across the board. He said if affordability is your issue, this is on Truth Social, vote Republican. Energy costs, and as an example, are plummeting close to $2 a gallon gasoline. When energy goes down, everything else follows, and it has. I guess my question for you, Governor, is with the data center capital of the world in Virginia and more data centers coming, is it possible for a Democrat or a Republican to promise to control energy costs when we see such demand for energy in high tech?
Yeah, very good question. When I was governor, there were a lot of data centers. You know, I was very proud. I was a jobs governor. I recruited 2,100 companies, 210,000 new jobs I brought to Virginia. I did the Amazon deal and a bunch of other big deals. But in order to do those deals, Joe, you need energy. Yeah. If you're going to bring in those high-tech companies, you need to provide them with energy. So I come from a place as a Democrat. I've been very vocal. I'm for all of the above. I did the largest offshore wind project utility in American history off the shores of Virginia Beach. I did solar panels, but I was all for natural gas. I lost 2 gigantic manufacturing projects that I could have brought to Southwest Virginia, but Dominion could not commit to me the long-term energy contract. So if we're going to grow our economy, we as Democrats, we got to be for all of the above. I couldn't agree more. I'm all for renewables, but let's make sure that we have everything in place so that we can grow jobs, we can grow manufacturing. And that's what the Democrats need to be talking about, all of the above, and let's do everything we can to grow our economy.
This is going to turn out to be a much more pronounced conversation, Governor, that I'd love to continue with you even beyond the election. But give us your view nationally here. You ran the DNC. Frank Luntz told us last evening on Balance of Power that Democrats will sweep tonight. That also includes gubernatorial in New Jersey and Prop 50 in California. You obviously agree with him, I'm guessing, because it looks pretty close in New Jersey today.
Yeah, listen, you know, and play this tomorrow. I hope you put it on, Joe. I think Mikey probably wins by 5-6. You know, great. Went to the U.S. Naval Academy. I love her. I've known her a long time. Her husband, Naval Academy, captain of the rugby team. My son was captain of the Navy rugby team. So I love Mikey Sherrill. I love Abigail. I worked with her as governor. I think Abigail, Ralph won by 9 in 2017. I think Abigail could go 9-12. 60 House of Delegates, Joe. You heard it here. You play this back tomorrow. 59-60. It's a historic win for us. And we could win the California prop 2-1. That's a possibility, 2-1, and huge win in New York. So we sweep the board. Please play this tomorrow. And either I look like a great soothsayer or I'm one of the biggest fools in American politics.
That's some confidence. That's a man with confidence.
But I'm just telling you, yeah. But the dynamics of Donald Trump, he is minus. He's at, you know, you saw the polls. He's the lowest of any president in American history. In Virginia, he's minus 15 points. He has destroyed our economy. Soybean farmers, because of the tariffs, they're going bankrupt. Rural voters in Virginia, farmers, going bankrupt because of Donald Trump. And it's just shocking to me that nobody, not one Republican, will stand up and say, Mr. President, you are wrong. This is hurting our economy. Show political courage. Get up and do what's right. I'm all about jobs. I'm a jobs governor. And we need someone in that White House who's focused on people's jobs, their health care, keeping energy prices low, keeping grocery prices low. So big night for us, Joe. Tomorrow, I want this thing replayed tomorrow at 1 o'clock.